During World War II, blacks weren't allowed to do anything in the war. Because of all the racism and the Jim Crow laws, they weren't allowed to do anything. They were allowed one thing in the Army, but it wasn't to fight in the war, until something unexpected happened. On the day of April 3rd, 1939, Public Law 18 was passed, saying that they expanded the rights to blacks to be allowed to join the Air Force. January 1941, they set up a squadron that was located at Tuskegee, Alabama. They were tested in courses, simulators, and tight situations. More than 3/4 of them qualified as pilots in May 1942, and some became navigators. The Tuskegee Airmen was a group that no one could take down or break their will. They had done 1,578 missions in total and had been through a lot. These missions were tough and sometimes drastic for soldiers. Throughout the time of World War II, pilots have been rewarded for their bravery and their support by protecting the ones in that need protecting. Pilots like Joseph Ellsbury, Clarence Lester, and the exception of their leader, Benjamin O. Davis, and more. Joseph was awarded a feat for shooting down 3 planes and was also the first black pilot to do so. Benjamin was the leader of the airman group. Charles Chief Anderson was said to have given the First Lady Roosevelt an airplane ride on March 29, 1941. Clarence Lucky Lester got a DFC for destroying 3 German airplanes. George Roberts, Benjamin Davis Jr., Charles Beebo Jr., Mac Ross, and Emil Custis received silver wings from the Army Air Force unit. These men were probably the most heard fighters within that certain squadron of pilots. These fighters did their best of taking down the enemy and surviving the worst. They did their best, and their best won the war. Within those missions, they had to fight for their lives and to either fight for others, too, such as bomber planes. The bomber planes that they escorted thought of them as angels, or the red tail angels because of their red paint on their tail. By the end of this war, 992 men had graduated from Negro Air Corps pilot training at Tuskegee. These black airmen destroyed over 409 German airplanes, 950 ground units, and sank a battleship destroyer. They ran more than 200 bomber escort missions during World War II. All those African Americans had proved to the world that even blacks can win wars too. All 1,000 of them. They had proved so much to get their rights and their way of life today. So they will be remembered for their bravery and courage that each and every soldier gave to help out the poor and build a strong future today.